What's up, YouTube? Today we're doing a comparison between the Beretta APX A1 carry and the Taurus 709 Slim. So the Taurus has been around for a very long time and it is discontinued, but it was in its day, in my opinion, one of the best single stacked 9mm concealed carry pistols. And I personally think the Beretta APX A1 carry is one of the best single stacked 9mm carry pistols today. So I just wanted to compare the two and just talk about the differences and maybe the technology that's changed over the years. I don't know. So with the Taurus 709 Slim, it is clear. I've already checked it out. It is safe to handle. And with it, you have a nice slim package. You have 7 in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber for 8 rounds total. And it is in a nice slim package. It does have a safety, so you want to flick that safety down. Has a very strange trigger, that classic Taurus trigger where it goes all the way back. It has the safe action blade like a Glock, but the trigger is wonky. It goes way back, then you get a click, and now it's double action. So now you have a stronger trigger. You can just keep on clicking. Now the Beretta trigger is your typical striker fired trigger, has also the bladed safe action trigger. It stacks more like a Glock, and then you get a little bit thicker or a heavier trigger. Then boom, it clicks. You know exactly where it's going to click. I prefer the Beretta trigger, but after that, your trigger's dead. So if you get a light primer strike, you're going to have to rack that round to reactivate your trigger. So the trigger's reactivated. It doesn't take much on this gun. But size-wise, let's line them up and see how they are. The Beretta with this shorter magazine, the magazine that fits flush, while I'm thinking of it, let's talk about it. It has a 6-round magazine. Now it says 6-round magazine. I can fit 7 rounds of 9mm in the 6-round magazine. I probably wouldn't carry it that way though, because it's not designed for that. But just letting you know, it does hold 7 rounds, at least mine does, in the 6-round magazine. Now lining them up where they're even, basically. The two guns are almost identically sized, although the Taurus is a little bit longer. I know that the Beretta is a little bit under 6 inches, and the Taurus is actually a little over 6 inches. Now, holding them together from the perspective, from looking at the back to the front, the Beretta looks possibly a little thicker, but I think that's just because the gun is squared off, because the Beretta on the right here is actually 0.9 inches thick, and the Taurus is over 1 inch thick. It's like 1.1 or something. So it's a little thicker, and that might just be that safety sticking out that causes it to be just a little thicker. The two guns are almost identically sized from top to bottom. They're almost identically sized all the way around. The Taurus does get the 1 extra round. Now with the Beretta, you can make it a little longer and put in an 8-round magazine. This is typically how I carry my Beretta, but that does make the gun a little taller. You know, you're that much taller with that magazine in, that 8-rounder. And even with the 6-round magazine, I meant to talk about this. The guns, yeah, they're about the same, but with that pinky extension, that is a little longer as well. So you have that pinky extension that sticks down a little bit. That's going to be a little bit longer from top to bottom than the Taurus. So the Beretta has a better trigger. The Beretta has better sights. I like that blacked out rear with the white front. The Taurus sights are okay. It's a 3-dot sight, but they sit so low when you actually line it up and shoot it, half of your front white dot is going to be cut off to actually shoot it accurately. If you're seeing your entire front dot, you're probably shooting high. At least that's how it is with this Taurus. I do like the Taurus. It takes apart just like a Glock. The Beretta takes apart very simply as well. You just flip this down, pull the trigger, and the slide comes off. Both of them are good guns. This is just an older gun. Now, I will say the grip is a lot better on the Beretta. You have a much better purchase with this real rough grip. It is almost sandpaper-like, while the Taurus is this ribbed, the old Taurus, very slick grip on the old Tauruses. But that's how all of them were back in the day. Now, Taurus has since upgraded their texturing. It's a little bit nicer these days. But yeah, which do I think is a better gun? I really do think the Beretta is a better gun. But I do think this old Taurus 709 Slim back in its day, around like 2012, I thought it was a great gun. I mean, out of the guns that were available back then, it was one of my favorites. But I think the Ruger LC9 really won that era. It really was probably the most popular gun, although I preferred the Taurus myself. These days, though, people are really carrying double stacks. Small double stacks are the fad right now. I still carry the single stack. I just like it better. I like the thinness of it, the size difference. It's not much, but I think it is noticeable, and I think the capacity difference isn't as much as people make it out to be. With the magazine I carry this 8-rounder plus 1. I get 9 rounds, and then something like the SIG 365, I think you get 10 rounds in the magazine plus 1, so 11. 11 versus 9, not a huge deal to me. I don't really live in a very dangerous area. Now maybe you do, and you might want that higher capacity. But anyways, guys, that's really the comparison between these two guns. I just wanted to show them because they're very similarly sized. I like them both a lot. I think the Taurus is great. I think the Beretta is great. And I think guns have gotten better over the years, though. In the 2020s, they have really dialed in these carry guns compared to in the early 2010s. They just were not quite as refined, but they were a lot better than they were in the early 2000s. So, you know, technology's advanced. I can't wait to see what comes out in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.